Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at the Decepticon Military Patrol Micromasters from Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy. As you can see, it is comprised of BombShock and Growl. So pretty cool. Artwork on top of the card, very nice. Taking a look on the back, you can see the two Micromasters in both the robot mode and vehicle modes. And then of course it shows them on Ironworks, although technically Ironworks is an Autobot. I feel like they wouldn't really be hanging out there, but you never know. Maybe it's under attack or something. I am hoping to see some Decepticon. I guess they're still called weaponizers. I still haven't figured out what to call them. The Micromaster bases. Hopefully we'll see some Decepticons as well. But in any case, yeah, that'll do it for the packaging for this. Let's go ahead and open it up and we'll take a closer look. So here we have BombShock. I really like this guy. I think he's cool. I like the Decepticon symbol on his chest. I really like the little head sculpt. It's painted nicely, the dark blue for the head, yellow for the eyes, silver for the face. He's got the tank turret on his back. He's got ball joint here in the shoulder. Then you have a waist swivel, ball joint in the hip, and then pretty much 180 in the knee. He's got these little pieces, which at first I was like, what is the purpose of this? But really they're just heels to help him stand in robot mode because he's so back heavy with the turret. So they kind of get in the way of everything else, but I guess I appreciate that they exist because otherwise he probably wouldn't be able to stand. So he's pretty cool. Let me go ahead and get those heels working. Then you have Growl, which I think also looks pretty good. I don't like his head sculpt as much, but it's not bad. He's got kind of visor eyes, silver painted face, little Decepticon symbol there in the tummy, I guess, for lack of a better term. He's like a Decepticon Care Bear. Anyway, he's got a ball joint in the shoulder as well. He does not have a waist swivel, but he has a ball joint in the hip and again 180 in the knee for the transformation. He's got this weird thing going on with the backpack though, so I guess technically that's how you're supposed to have it, but if you want you can kind of pull this out and pull this down more, but then see how it kind of moves the head, so you just have to push the head back up. So if you like kind of a like less having the backpack right there in his head, it's a little bit farther back. Now still a lot of stuff hanging off back here, unfortunately, but it's up to you. If you prefer this up a little bit more, you can do it. If you want a little bit more on the back, you can do it. So, small bit of option there. But then when you do that, it kind of makes him too back heavy, and since he doesn't have the heels, it's kind of impossible to get him to stand. So, while I prefer this look, really can't get him to stand. So, to get him to stand, you kind of have to distribute the weight more like this. And that gives him kind of the weird up-top backpack. Which it's even then still a little bit hard to get him to stand, but it can be done. Transforming them is pretty simple. Lift this up, kind of put the 2 feet together, spin this around, bring this all the way down. There are tabs here on the inside of the fists that will tab into that little spot there on the ball joint for the hip. So you kind of just, and then pop that down. And then there you go. And he does come with a gun. Pretty nice little gun painted in silver. And then you can pop that on top. Just like that. And you can see he does have these holes on the side. So if in robot mode you wanted him to peg the gun onto the side of his hand, you can. It looks kind of silly just because it's so long. Here, I can transform him back pretty quickly. Except for the head. The head really gets stuck because it's like weirdly on the same swivel as the other piece, but there you go. So there there he is with the gun on the side of the hand. It's not bad. It's kind of cool. This guy kind of reminds me of like Swindle from the Combaticons, just because he has the big gun and his vehicle mode is kind of similar. I guess it's like a Humvee instead of a Jeep. But yeah, pretty cool. I like it. So now moving on to BombShock. He has, actually, this is like a piece that rotates up, which I think is kind of funny because at first I didn't even realize that. Like it blends in so perfectly to his chest that I just assumed that was going to stay there. So that's pretty cool. So that lifts up. Then you can go ahead and pop the arms up. They have a swivel there in the shoulder. I forgot to say that the head does rotate. The head can rotate from side to side. I don't think his can because of the way it's like on that peg, but his can rotate side to side. So this is the interesting part when you have to like get these underneath the tank turret. It's not too difficult, but it's not too easy either. So there you go. Once you get that done, then you can go ahead and spin the turret around. And he makes a pretty awesome little tank. Like, I really, really like the little tank that he is. Turret can spin. The barrel kind of goes up and down like that. So I really like both of their vehicle modes. I think they're great. I think this guy has the stronger robot mode, but his isn't bad. But yeah, I really like their vehicle modes. He rolls okay. No, for a second I thought he might have wheels, but he doesn't. So you just have to move him along. He actually does have wheels that spin. He rolls pretty well. So yeah, both of these are pretty cool. Of course, they do have a weapon mode. This has got to be the worst one I think I've ever seen. So let me remember how this works. I think you spin this back around. And I don't know what it is, but when I have to spin this back, it always makes a terrible clicking sound, which always makes me feel like I'm going to break it. But so far, so good. So it wants you to take this, spin him around at the waist. Then it wants you to move this all the way up like this. And then it just says like these just kind of hang out there. And then bring this down like that. Okay. Maybe, I think you leave it like that. So then this one, this one it wants you to flip these around. Like, I'm just like laughing because it's so bad. Bring this up, flip this out. I'm trying to remember how this goes now. I think this stays up like this. Oh, no, I remember now. Okay, so this comes up. I think you leave this gun pegged in here. Let me get this pegged back in. It's a little tight, but you can get it back in. So there you go. Then you take this, and you're supposed to peg this into here. And then this goes like this. That's what it is. This is it. This is the this is the vehicle mode, weapon mode. I mean, this is just a hot mess. What is this? It doesn't even have any kind of cohesion to it. I guess this and this are supposed to be guns. Like, come on, guys. Seriously. This is a mess. I think they need to just give up on the individual weapon modes for these sets. I don't think we need it. I don't think any of these patrols need to be a weapon. Like I said, the only one in my mind that's ever really been successful is the sword. Well, the military patrol for the Autobots wasn't bad. That one had somewhat of a cohesion to it, but literally everything else has just been kind of a mess. And I'm just like, let's just let it die. Like, it doesn't need to exist. These figures are fine just being Micromasters. I don't need them to also be weapons. Maybe if they just had, like, make individual weapons, not combined weapons, maybe that would work. Because sometimes that's a little bit more successful, but for the most part, I just don't think it needs to exist. But overall, I think these guys are cool. I definitely recommend picking up the 2-pack. They're only $10 for 2, so I think that's a pretty reasonable price for Micromasters. And like I said, robot modes, vehicle modes on their own, very good. The combined weapon mode is a joke in my opinion, but it usually is. And that's really not the reason I buy Micromasters. I think BombShock's probably the better out of the two, but that's not to say Growl's terrible. I just think he works a little bit better. It's just because this guy has this weird backpack. Otherwise, he's fine. You know, he's a typical normal Micromaster. But you can see I kind of have to have him, like, bend over, you know, because he's got, like, a giant backpack on. But I kind of like having the gun on his arm. I think that looks pretty cool. So yeah, definitely two fun little Micromasters. Recommend picking them up, and that'll do it for this one. So please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.